Well, good morning, December 27th, 2012, Taurus. We will be taking our tour of the day, starting immediately, so hop on the Liberty bus. And we're just going to pass through very quickly because there are actually quite a few things this morning that seem rather significant. This is an article from Drake. It's supposed to be an interview between Drake and a source that he has at DHS. You can take it with a grain of salt, as I do. It's mostly about Second Amendment, loss of the Second Amendment, loss of the First Amendment, loss of the right to own and bear firearms. And I found this paragraph particularly interesting. More draconian gun laws than England. This is a global thing too. Want to hunt? What gives you the right to hunt their animals? They believe they own the animals. And this reminded me of the movie about Princess Diana's death and how the Queen responded and how she was more upset that her neighbor had shot her buck, what she considered her buck, than she was about Diana's death. The Viet Project. Here's a little history lesson. U.S. presidents murdered by Rothschild banking cartel. And another history lesson today from the Viet Project. A must-read. High treason. President Johnson. USS Liberty Operation Cyanide. Incredible disclosures of Israeli-American false flag. Reading and understanding about this incident that was organized by President Johnson many years ago will really help you understand how false flag terrorism works, how our government has used it to manipulate us to go to war for them. And I use the term our government very loosely because corporate America, in charge of U.S. foreign policy, we don't really have a constitutional government. I mean, it's in place kind of like, the royals used to be considered in place in England. Now we know they really do run things. But the group that really runs things in this country is the corporatocracy. Alex Jones is back after his Christmas break, and an article on InfoWars today. The Bill of Rights is not negotiable. Share this urgent declaration. And this is written by Mike Adams, Natural News. And I hope that you will share this urgent declaration. Put it on your Facebook wall, email it to friends, whatever means of communication you find effective in your life, whatever you tend to go with as far as communicating with people. As you prepare and make plans for New Year's Eve, if you're thinking of going out, consider this. CNTAP's National Bar Spying Program. They don't have to reveal you're being spied on. Maybe you want to have a party at home. Oh, but if you do, make sure everybody leaves their iPhones in a metal box, in a corner somewhere, covered up with coats, so they can't use those to spy on you. Government dependents outnumber those with private sector jobs in 11 U.S. states. Why is this an issue? This is an issue because people who are dependent on the government for their income are very unlikely to bite the hand that feeds them. They will tend to support the government no matter what the government does, and they'll be some of the last rats to leave the sinking ship, or maybe to be marched into gas chambers, who knows. I know I sound a little negative this morning, so I want to end with a couple of positive ideas. I have heard this before. The world's largest army, America's hunters. And I find this encouraging. When you think about the men and women who you know who are hunters, they tend to be solid, stable, grounded people. And their number put together is greater than any army in the world. So maybe we'll be relying on our hunters at some point to defend us, kind of like the old Red Dawn movie. Here is another encouraging blog, The Other 90%, Russian DNA Discoveries. This is the second place I read this, and it alleges that there is no such thing as junk DNA, that there is tremendous power locked up in our DNA, and tremendous power locked up in our brains, the parts of our brains that are unused, very small percentages used. Today might be a good day to start to get in the habit of using more of your brain power. And there's an old time article, I'll try to find it for tomorrow, that states that people who pray and meditate tap into areas of their brain that most people don't use. And this is a great time to get in a solid relationship with the Creator and begin to develop your soul and your spirit. They are eternal, and they also have the power to overthrow the bad guys, especially when we all join together. So, thank you for joining me for today's tour and for watching this production of She Who Will Walk in the Dark Productions. And I hope I did not paint too pessimistic of a picture. Please don't be afraid, because, the dawn is coming. It's inevitable. Take care.